Good evening. Page 2 is Sarva. 2 Rebe. And forever stabilize faith. Yes, sir. Did you find it? Okay. Discard the 10 non-virtues and forever stabilize faith. Destroy anger and pride and equip with the mind of humility. Give up wrong livelihood and nourish by the livelihood of Dharma. So good work. So therefore, Atisha instructs Domdamba by saying that, as we discussed earlier, you should never let your mind agitate it. Never let your mind agitate it. And never be arrogant. Never be puffed up. If you get arrogant and puffed up, you will not be able to travel smoothly on the path in your life. But we do sometimes emotionally on the spot, on the spur of the moment, get agitated. But immediately you should recognize that and destroy that by cultivating counter forces. Sometimes when I give such talks, I tell people that just like Lama giving the tantric empowerment, I'll give you a commitment. And in that commitment, I tell people that whatever may come in your life, or whatever may happen, never make your mind unhappy. Because if you lose your peace and happiness of the mind, then really everything is lost. Because the very purpose for which we are alive and living and working is for peace of mind, happiness of mind, internal mental stability. If that is lost, then everything is lost. So, what destroys peace and happiness is the negative emotions, out of which anger and arrogance. These are some of the really, really frequently occurring disturbing emotions. When you get angry, you become mad. The definition of a mad person is somebody who is unable to distinguish the good and the bad. What he's saying, what he's doing, you have no sense. Madman, right? And you exactly become that when you get angry. So the question is now, do you want to become a madman or a sane person? Insane or sane? All the wars and conflicts and fightings and disagreements that is taking place in the world is because of insanity, because of madness. Insanity. So choice is yours. You want to become sane or insane? I mean, these are like fantastic teachings, It's not so much about talking. If we really think and try to practice, your life will completely be changed. Completely be changed. Sanity will come back. There's so much insanity today in the world. So that's why Atisha is saying that number one, don't get arrogant, don't get puffed up, don't get agitated, don't get angry. Because agitation and getting angry is not the solution for any problem. There's one thing. Because we all do get angry repeatedly. We get frustrated, upset, and get angry, of course. But then if people ask you a question, why you are getting angry? What do you think what you are going to get by getting angry? There's not much reasonable answer. The one possible reasonable answer could be, because when I get angry, I get some extra energy. And because of that extra energy, I'm able to say things which I'm normally unable to say, do things which I'm unable to do. So therefore anger was good. That's how you feel. Yes, it is true, you get an extra anger, extra energy, but that extra energy is essentially blind energy. And it's not sure, therefore, whether you will hit the target or not. But I kung to huge sading kung to sasadeli hugo some the shusadel mashi, Hindajin gol hu, you're the tebasu chigdo. You're not able to hit the target. So the only, probably, perhaps the only benefit that you get from anger is that extra energy, which is also blind energy. So useless. And in the Buddhist teaching, it is clearly mentioned that you can develop even more powerful energy without getting angry. Because when you get angry, the very nature of the mind is disturbed. There is instability. Because when you get angry, you start shivering. Last time also you said this time also you are blaming me. You are in trance. Stability is lost. And when your stability is lost and mind is not functioning, then how can you deal with problems? You cannot have real energy. But instead, if your mind is calm and quiet, think carefully, then even if somebody has done something wrong and you want to react to that, challenge that, you can challenge that peacefully, logically, forcibly, without getting angry. Really. Right? Toya jungbu sungbo la member to wa member dar. Tube nyomo darsi nyomo tangde kansa mes uma hijabe nalo sungwa na shi. Toya jungbu, even if somebody does something wrong to you, you should not get angry. The reason is because that person mind is not functioning now. He or she is upset, whatever be the reason, so the mind is unstable. So therefore she is getting crazy, she is getting mad. And when he or she is getting crazy, you also get crazy. How can you solve the problem? Fire cannot be doused by fire. It can be extinguished by putting water. Right? So therefore, and then anger. Dealing with all these negative emotions, you not just follow the teaching, but use your common sense and think how good these negative emotions are. Be honest with the negative emotions. Like with anger, now you just take one paper and write down, okay, benefits of anger, disadvantages of anger. Then if there's any benefit, write down. Be honest. And then the disruptions, disadvantages, also write down. I'm pretty sure that you will get a long list under the heading disadvantages of anger, but not much under the advantages. Now disadvantages is, for example, when you get angry, you get ugly. You want to get ugly? Nobody wants to get ugly. That's why we wash our face and put cosmetics and earrings and make sure my hair is nice, the clothes is nice. Because you want to be a presentable, nice person, nice looking person, and that is fine. But if you really want to be a nice, presentable person, then be like Buddha, who doesn't have necessarily big ornaments around, no cosmetics, but with the gentle smile, he looks the most elegant, handsome person. When you don't have this smile on the face, which comes because of internal, tranquility and peace, when that is not there, you cannot have genuine smile. Even if you get a smile, that will be either sarcastic smile or artificial smile, as the politicians do. Right? So the genuine smile comes when there is calmness and peace and happiness. Even when you laugh, you will laugh heartily. Now, today, unfortunately, in the modern day, people even don't know how to laugh heartily. It is all only from here, yeah. Not from here, from the belly, no. So that's why now if you visit big cities, they practice what they call as laughing therapy, because they don't know how to laugh naturally and heartily. So therefore the elderly people or whoever, they come together early in the morning, then they do this artificial laughing, ha 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 ha. Even that artificial laughing is said to be beneficial. So even if that artificial laughing is beneficial, imagine the benefit of genuine laughing. So therefore, he's talking about the destructiveness of anger. Destructiveness of anger. Anger has always been compared to a conflagration of fire. The purpose of fire is to burn. So purpose of anger is to destroy, nothing much. All the conflicts, wars that you see around the world is because of anger, enmity, hatred. Not because of love, not because of compassion. Very clear. Okay. So, but we are ordinary people, so anger will come, but when anger comes, just try to, repel it, stop it, and don't maintain ill will or hatred. And that is the most destructive thing. Even if you get angry, fight with somebody, okay, after that say sorry, shake hand, finish. Don't keep it in your mind. If you keep it in your mind, it will not hurt other people, it will consume you. It will destroy you. Like we all have that experience when you are angry with somebody and then you keep it in your mind. Then even when that person is gone, you are in your own room, still you are thinking about that and you are unable to sleep, you keep on changing sides. Do we have that experience? So what is the benefit, What is the benefit? There is no benefit. Only self-torturing. All these negative emotions are the primary target. Victim is yourself, not other people. Right? And the anger and arrogance comes because you tend to think that I'm somebody special, somebody important, you see. The ordinary sense of nga is good, of course. I can do good things, I can develop that. That is important. But the senseless, illogical sense of I. So the best antidote not to get angry, not to get puffed up is to maintain sense of humility. Humility, that I'm nobody. I know very little. Even the little thing that I know is because of not my greatness, it's due to my friend, due to my teacher. Thing like that, offer all the good things to other people. That will help you not to get puffed up. When you are not arrogant, then there is not much room for you to, get angry. And then the next he says, destroy anger and pride. We finish that. And equip with the mind of humility. Humility. That means the antidote to that arrogance and puffed up mind is maintaining humility. Humility. One of the Kadampa teacher, he says that if you look at the nature and see where the beautiful green grasses and flowers grow, do they grow down in the valley or on the exposed top of a mountain? The beautiful grasses, flowers, they grow down in the valley, not on the exposed top of a mountain. So if you act like an exposed top of a mountain and become arrogant, that's why arrogant people normally never learn from others. It may be due to your wealth, due to your name. Because the more you observe that humility, the more you will reach higher. The Kadamba Lamas, they say, look at the nature. The beautiful green grasses and flowers grow down in the valley, not so much on the exposed top of a mountain. So similarly, if you act like this down valley, then there is possibility to grow all the good virtues, qualities. Then it says, give up wrong livelihood. Give up wrong livelihood. Give up wrong livelihood. Wrong livelihood. There are 5 types of wrong livelihood mentioned in Nagarjuna Saratnavali, where he says the number 1 out of the 5 wrong livelihood, the number 1 is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy means pretending what you are not. For example, now because you are listening to me, if I pretend that I'm somebody special, I have a lot of blessings to shower upon you. I also have a little bit clairvoyance, things like that. If I pretend and say these things, people may start believing in me. That's why how many people are cheated by wrong teachers. Because people have this tendency to believing in people, and especially teachers. So hypocrisy, whether you are a teacher or even not a teacher, don't be hypocritical. Don't pretend what you are not. Hypocrisy. And based on that hypocrisy, the reason that I say that I'm very special, I can give you a blessing, is so that you will give me more respect, you will give me more offering and things like that. Wrong livelihood. We are talking about wrong livelihood. If you earn your livelihood based on hypocritical practices, then whatever you earn from that is wrong livelihood. The second is flattery. Flattery. Flattery means saying soft and pleasant, attractive words to others, again to get something. To get something from others. So you restrain your senses, and you say things softly and pleasantly in front of those people from whom you want something. And people normally have this tendency. Whenever you want something from somebody, they are quite soft. So a little bit of hypocrisy is there. So of course politeness is also there, but we need to be very sure that you should be polite, but not be soft to flatter that other person and to get something. And the next is called indirect accusation. Indirect accusation means indirect accusation, which means in order to get something, you start praising what other people own. For example, if I see one of my friends, or they are wearing nice watch, then, oh, how nice this watch is. From where did you buy it? Is it possible to buy this? Now my Western friends also, you follow Tibetan, right? You can understand Tibetan, right? Most of you can understand Tibetan, some may not. You all understand Tibetan? You may not. Otherwise I can speak in Tibetan also. So you praise what belongs to others with the hope that you will get it. And especially when you are at an advantaged position, like a teacher or something, then you start praising what belongs to the student. Then it's again like my dear teacher, please you take it, So in order to get those things, if you shower praise after praise on the things, how beautiful this shirt is, how beautiful this umbrella is, this dress is raining, so umbrella, And then at the end, of that flattery, that praising, if you get that thing, then that is wrong livelihood. And then the next one is called artful accusation. Artful accusation. Artful accusation is basically using force. Force means, like, again, if I see that nice umbrella or something, I wanted that. Then I say, "Yidu pe nying jo tu da ngal te da." Pa jo da ngal gu ye lan, ta khare thing sa ser na hiu do. Either you say it artfully by saying that, now you are very, stingy, You're stingy. You're supposed to be a Buddhist practitioner. You're so stingy. Give it to me. You say it like that. Or, dingala goda kichin. Because you are again on a more powerful position, so you take dingala goda. Pajon ning je tenye matu na khadang de. So taking forcibly, artful accusation. You show your art either forcibly or, directly like defaming that other person, how stingy you are and things like that. So through these different artful practices, you try to get that is wrong livelihood. Then another is desiring to add profit to profit. The translation is a little bit difficult, but the meaning is there. Adding profit to profit means I want to get a little bit better. So in order to get that better thing, I give you something, Jindal Chigdong of the Chachega Doaji, or Majega Doaji, Shingdo Chega Doaji, Shivichigdo, Migu the Yakuram. Again, when you like, let us say you have a sponsor or benefactor who is there, then you make several rounds to that sponsor, offering tea, offering flowers, offering fruits and things like, how can I help you? So there's a little bit, practice of wrong livelihood. If you do it honestly, because that person has been so kind to you, so now this is your opportunity to do something. With that motivation, you go, it's okay. But many a times, it's difficult to separate this blurred, border. It could be a process of wrong livelihood. You do this so that he will help you continuously. In my case, I lost many opportunities because I did not flatter. It happens, you see, it happens. Otherwise, you need to maintain, that person. So again, but it could become a wrong livelihood, desiring aid to profit. So it's like business. You give a small thing and you want to get more. So, right? So these are the give up wrong livelihood. And then similarly, there are many, just 5 has been mentioned, but corruption, exploitation, there are 100,000 ways of earning wrong livelihood, which is really, really horrible. Now in some places, the wrong livelihood is so rampant. And people openly say, "Kya karun, aise karna padta hai." This is the way we live our life. They openly say, just give me money. This is the way we live our life. They don't even hesitate taking the bribe or engaging in corruption. Sara system aisa ho gaya, labgudwa, nijarang aladi labsumichi. So this is very bad, wrong livelihood. And that's why the country does not develop, any country which engages in this kind of corruption, exploitation, wrong livelihood. This is it's like cancer. Give up wrong livelihood and nourished by the livelihood of Dharma. That means if you are a monk or a nun or a practitioner, make sure that you do not decline from your practice. Do not let your practices degenerate. And this is therefore related to the practice of the 10 virtuous qualities and removing the 10 non-virtuous qualities, which we read earlier. Discard the 10 non-virtuous and forever stabilize the faith. So he's basically saying something that is applicable to all of us. So when it comes to ensuring that you do not depend on wrong livelihood, you should do those practices, Dharma practices, which is related to, developing or practicing the 10 virtuous qualities and removing the 10 non-virtuous qualities, because all these practices of wrong livelihood are related to the practice of 10 non-virtuous actions. The 10 non-virtuous actions, number 1 is killing. Killing is horrible because there's nobody who doesn't like or cherish his or her life. I don't have to elaborate on this. Then stealing. Even in Dharamsala and many places there are burglars, They just come and break the door and take away things, Sometimes I feel so upset, I feel like shooting them. Unfortunately. There are people who just spend, so much time earning little things, and then somebody comes and just take it away like that, which is horrible. So with regard to these things also, we all need to be a little bit alert, Don't just trust everybody, a little bit alert. Because if you are not alert, then they are expert. They are expert. They may be talking about something, but they are actually, watching carefully for the opportunity to take things away. Oh, they did it. So stealing means not just taking those things which is not given to you, but stealing means again taking things forcibly, chakpa, by looting, or taking things which, in general, so stealing means taking those things which is not given to you by others. Mateva susu kiyo na, jambu chini kiyo na anda, cho yo na anda, condition dil kumandu yor, rawa, majin lemba shenji. Nor tudan jabiku was yawa, tu jabnere, condition, kusimikina condition. And not only that, if you borrow something from somebody, then after some time, if you don't return it, thinking that I borrowed it, but he is not asking, so maybe he or she has forgotten, and then you take that advantage and then give it, that is also stealing. And not only that, even if you find something which someone has lost, if you just give it without announcing it, that you found it, that could also become stealing, so long as that other person has not given up that possession. It could also become stealing. So we need to be careful. Right? Then loyam, sexual misconduct. In general, I think in Buddhism it doesn't, say sex itself is negative, bad, horrible. I don't think it says something like that, but sexual misconduct with the wrong partner, adultery. Those things, of course, we all know how bad it is. That creates a lot of fighting. In ancient history, there are cases of 2 countries going for war because of sexual misconduct and adultery. So I don't need to elaborate on this. Okay. Then telling lie. Lie, there are many types. Small lie, and white lie, black lie, supreme lie. Supreme lie means, again, telling that, last night I had a clairvoyance. Big lie. Tama, then the next one is divisive talk, which is also very likely. Pretending that you have so much love for somebody and then talking about someone else, saying that, you be careful with that person. He's saying bad things about you. So if you act as a kind of go-between 2 people, saying these things there and there, he's not good, she's not good, he's saying these things to you, she's saying these things to you. So in this way, if you divide people, this is very sinful, especially dividing Sangha community. Because monks are also ordinary, many of them are stupid. So then they say, nyingma ba chik chana, geluk chik randa, saja chik randa, la tukshin jamna, ngune jana tikpa chikpa shivjik. Very sinful, dividing people. Because our purpose as a practitioner is to bring harmony, unity, not to divide. The purpose of Buddhism is to, what we call is to mend what is breaking apart. To mend what is breaking apart. To bring unity where there is disunity. To bring harmony where there is disharmony. Okay? Then harsh speech. Harsh speech. Shargo ke sero. Kanjo ke sero. So many of these things I feel like saying in Tibetan. You blind, can't you see what I'm doing? This kind of harsh speech, If that person is blind, then it's, doubly bad. If that person is not blind, then again, how dare you say, how dare you call me blind when I have both the eyes intact? You get very angry. So, the word itself is not sharp like a blade, but it can chop the heart of other people into pieces. Tibetan saying. In English, there is an English saying which says, the tongue, which is 6-7 inches, can fell a feet 6-7. It can fell a person 6-7 feet tall. Tongue, which is 6-7 inch, if you use harsh word, then that person who is maybe 6-7 feet tall, you can fail that person, means you can hurt that person. You can break the heart of that person. So therefore in Buddhism we say that the speech you use should be like a honey. Dangzi meto misanta we sik namsum to be kazal sidwa hitting now. Dangzi chungna dangzi na. It should be like honey. If not, at least flower. But it should not be like filth, What did it? Ju tama sixu marchil gossiping. Gossiping itself may not be a negative thing, but it really wastes a lot of time. And people probably everywhere. In the Tibetan society, I know, especially in settlements, gossiping is one of the favorite pastime. I just enjoy listening to them, they just keep on talking about people, Amayangchin's son has come. Where is she? She lives somewhere in America. Oh, okay. It's an endless story, endless gossiping the whole day. Endless. And sometimes, you cross the limit. And sometimes you just keep on gossiping and somebody hears it and hurts that person, then start fighting, So, Kadi Marmarchilla, Dabo Majan, the Riri Ula of Jihungs, like Dirwa, the Dua, Marchil, gossiping, chattering, idle chatter. Then, Napsim, covetousness. Covetousness means when you see, the things owned by somebody, you wish, oh, how nice if I also have that. It's a little bit like tainted with jealousy. When you see neighbor bought a new car, you also feel like, oh, how nice if I also have such a nice car. If you see somebody wearing a nice jacket, how nice if I also have a jacket. Just by coveting, thinking, aspiring to have that, the jacket will not come to you, the car will not come to you. So it is useless, unnecessarily torturing your mind. Then next is nosem, harmful intention. That is, of course, very bad because the root of the essence of the core teaching or the essence of Buddha Dharma is compassion. And what is opposite to compassion is harmful intention. That is the worst thing. So harmful intention should not be there. Just like you do not want anybody to harm you, similarly you should think, that it's very sinful and negative to harm others, harmful. Because if you think carefully, you will be able to develop that feeling of closeness and love and compassion to everybody. Because whoever they are, right from the president, prime minister, down to the beggar, they may pose themselves in different way, but at the core, at the end, the essence is everybody is having this problem, that problem. The seventh Dalai Lama is a beautiful, writer and great teacher. He says, "Thome chazin pomo sundala tejang chalu namjur photo chechung samado dugi misi jewa nyam zun dugwe kenyam toxin namjit nangsu di chowa skungti dua." So loosely translated, the seventh Dalai Lama says, if you look at the people, whether they are at a higher place or lower place, or you look at the lay people, or the monks and nuns, or you look at the men, or look at the women, to whomever you look. The only difference is their costume. The men wear one dress, women wear another dress, monks wear another dress. Costume, there is a difference. Chalu, namjur, then expression. Some are very haughty and arrogant. Some are very humble, Some are always, some people have always smile on their face. Some people look like always angry, Tide chebar dua. Chalu namjur, photo chechung sam mado. Dugi misicheva nyam nyam to do. Underneath, everybody is suffering, having one or the other problem. And this became very clear to me. Of course, on many occasions, this became very clear if you think a little bit. But once I was attending, traveling with the Dr. Wangyal, it's a very good doctor who passed away, personal physician to His Holiness Dalai Lama. So I was helping him translate and also dispense the medicine, things like that. So when the patients come to see the doctor, before they sit near the doctor, they all look quite okay. Everybody is wearing nice dress, nice clothes, and then also their shoes also making some sound. If you're a woman, tack, tack, tack. Like it looks very nice. But when the doctor starts diagnosing the pulse, everybody has 4, 5, 6 different diseases, illnesses. That's the reality. That's the reality. So not only physical illness, but mental, uneasiness, a problem. Alas, is this plight of my friends. As I said earlier, as I said yesterday, by quoting one of the Buddhist teaching which says you do not have to kill people, they will die. Similarly, there's no point bringing suffering. They're already having problem suffering. Your job is to reduce their suffering. Your job is to give them health. Your job is to give them well-being, not to make their life more miserable. It makes complete sense. Contrarily, if these people are like such that they are made of diamond and iron and not easily going to die, then maybe you can play with them a little bit, torture them a little bit. If you look at this body itself, we call it, at a bigger perspective, we call it interdependent, it's a conglomeration of many things, it is impermanent, things like that. But if we make a straightforward explanation, then this body is very fragile. Especially if you look inside, look at the internal organs, how breathing takes place, how pumping the blood takes place. So it's so fragile. Many of you who heard me this before, I told them that once I was flying from America to Europe. On the way, I got a magazine, in the flight. So I started reading that magazine, and that magazine describes about the modern system of packaging. And in that, it says that anything that is fragile is packed nicely. Right? Anything that is fragile is packed nicely. Now look at our body. Because it is fragile, it is packed nicely. What is most fragile is kept inside, the kidney, the lungs, and then it is, put under that rib cage, bones. Then on that it's plastered with the skin. Skin also 7 layers. Dermis, epidermis, whatever, 7 layers of skin. Protect. So that is to share. So that's why sometimes I'm tempted to wear a placard saying, fragile, I'm fragile, please handle me carefully. So whether you do that or not, but if you get this sense, really, people are really fragile, emotionally very fragile. If you say nasty things, people get very upset. And some people like me are not so fragile in that sense, because we are trained in the Buddhist teaching. So whatever they say, let them say, that kind of thing. But there are others who don't have that training. Their mind is very fragile. So fragile, physically, mentally very fragile. Therefore, don't harm others. Any thamade wrong view. Wrong view is the worst thing. Because if you follow a system of, follow a teaching, follow a dharma, follow a philosophy which is wrong, or if your philosophy, your way of thinking is wrong, then you will go completely on the wrong direction. For example, if you follow a system of religion which says killing is good, and you follow and then systematically keep on killing people, which Angulimala did. In ancient history, Angulimala, the man with the rosary of human fingers, he met a wrong teacher who said, you kill 1,000 people, you kill 1,000 people, do the human sacrifice of 1,000 people. Every time you kill one individual, just take that finger and wear it around your neck. Angulimala, the man with that, rosary of human finger, So that is following the wrong teaching. So it is important to follow the right teaching. And how would you know what is wrong, what is right? Based on your own common experience. You want happiness, you want peace. So anything that is disturbing and destroying that peace, that happiness of yourself and others, that is wrong teaching. So it's important to use your common sense before thinking there will be a spirit up there or ghost down there. Before thinking like that, first you use your own experience. For example, Shungdin and Gorjiorba, Shungdin Lari during the Labtumarwa. Hina dig pen to nobody do some time to Hakurota. Rosaku to Groa. Dig Haku to the Lasamlamadanji and a call Harry during the stage within a chos came do. Rua, Parangasolina, Sug pen to do, Sue nobody do some time. How you ever chit to do. Didn't the chicken moreto. What in the Majiva Chichigure, Zelabdene, Dinure, Jelandore, Majena Sigrida, singing the Lamdene. Drode. Tunda di la delay ji yomare. Sosu to go jani tunda di lab di gore. Or do so. Oh, so remove wrong livelihood. Roma? And tau do tedan demaracho. And forever stabilize faith. Tepa gores. Unflinching faith must be there. In order to ensure that you follow that teaching, follow that path systematically, there must be unflinching faith. And that faith must be not a blind faith, but faith based on reason and knowledge. Gyumseleten. Unlike human beings, we have this big brain. So this big brain or this intelligent human mind is for analyzing things, for reasoning things out. As much as possible. If you just follow because somebody said, follow blind, it will not help you. And especially we are living in a scientific age today. So it is a shame if you present Buddhism as a religion based on blind faith. So wherever possible, try to use your reason and logic. Wherever, that does not mean to say that you should be able to explain everything you may not be able to explain. Not because there is no explanation, but you may not know. So there you should say, I don't know. Even if you are a teacher, that doesn't mean the teacher knows everything. The teacher should have the courage to say, this I don't know. So as much as possible, use your common sense. And these days I encourage people that make sure that Buddhism makes sense into this world. It's very comforting and good. It's almost a luxurious pursuit to say that Nirvana is up there, enlightenment is up there. But honestly speaking, it's almost like unapproachable, very difficult for us. But what we can understand, what we can figure out is that anger is bad. If I make an attempt, I can reduce my anger a little bit. Excessive attachment is bad. If I make an effort, I can reduce attachment a little bit. So when you do that a little bit, reduction of the negative emotions, you are already on the path to Nirvana. You're already on the path to enlightenment. That's the process. So without doing your homework, you just talk about enlightenment and so therefore Buddhism must make sense into this world. Oh yeah. And then next verse says, give up all material objects. That the inji material objects in yembo shira yomare kazang sing yembo tongso dian ta drink tema so sangsing tamji sedwa bebe sik din yembo hyore sangsing sedu chala du su lebde sangin sing sungin khundu ko so yo sangsing slaure bebe ke sik pe ning jodwa samsam chala le wealth la nor sikdwa nor sedi gunor sikdwa nor sedi nuntu sama chalal tene yungu yo nor stare Sangsing de pe agudo sanging sungin this ugudo sanging. You know, sangsing basically means something that brings that commotion, that hustle and bustle. People are running today for material wealth. Teach the juk the sangsing. But the sanging sungin samata yuxil choya marsigor. So all those material objects which there are certain material things which you need, basic necessity, but apart from there are many things which will only make your life busy and will not help you. In Nagarjuna's letter to the friend, he gives an example of the Naga king, the Dugi Pombos and the Naga king. So Naga king is said to have five heads. The rest of the Naga, the rest of the snakes, they have only one head. So ordinarily the Naga king really looks great, looks majestic, having 5 heads. But the problem is, because he has 5 heads, today this head may be okay, but this head is paining. These 2 sides of the head may be okay, the middle one is having migraine headache in the worst case. So in our ordinary life also, when you have 10 brothers, 20 sisters, whatever, then for a show off it's good. I have 10 brothers, 5 sisters, and 10 of them are in America, 5 of them in the US, they Canada, things like that. But then you also have the news, this brother is sick, that sister is not doing well. There's nothing that comes value free. Everything comes in a package, with certain things. So while it is ordinarily it's good, you have friends, relatives, and so forth, but don't think they are the source of long-lasting peace and happiness. You see, that's the way things are. I'm not saying that you don't pay attention to your near and dear ones, but what I'm saying is nothing comes value free. Recognize that also. So the real wealth is not the ordinary wealth, but the wealth of the sublime beings. The wealth of sublime beings are tepe nor, the wealth of faith, the wealth of morality, the wealth of giving. So many of these spiritual practices like compassion, loving kindness, normally we talk about wisdom. These are the real wealth. These are the real wealth because when you have this inner wealth, like faith, like mental calmness, like compassion, loving kindness, wisdom, or knowledge in general, if you have this, wherever you go, it's there. It will help you, it will protect you. And they will never become excess baggage. Now, ordinary wealth, in your house, if you have too many things, then the rat will come. Chichi yungdo atang mokorane. Ta kangba yakurame na. Ta kangba garo yakboyo na kuma yu chakba yungdo. Oh, yeah. Right? Mazu pepegi kitchenal yore. Kurwo yo na ane chakba yungslabre. Kurwo chembo kriyo ne bagi kuma de chakba tung deyor. Ta ko kurduda garo yoser labne chomga yung. Ko tang do hyanda tegai ke yungmarwa. Odinde chepardo. Odinde re. Dinde indu ko that the best example is at the airport, Yes. These days they say, ma'am, you can carry only 15 clothes. If you take more than 15 clothes, they say, madam, sorry, excess baggage, you have to pay for that. And Buddha was saying that long time back, excess baggage. At that time, nobody listened to Buddha. Now at the airport, they will tell you, and you have to pay for that, you see. Sometimes, it's too much in human life, There are cases of people who have 50 pairs of shoes. How many legs are there? 2 only. And then you have so many pairs of shoes. And these shoes that you have are bought based on the advertisement, gifted by your friends, relatives, and so forth. And you bought it, so many things. Now, according to the advertisement, they advertise different shoes to sell. There may be some element of truth. They are important, but basically, their primary aim is to sell. So they will say, you should buy these shoes when you go to the bathroom, otherwise you will slip and break your leg. So buy this one. Then you start thinking, oh, this is a good one. Oh, you should buy these shoes for rock climbing, For rock climbing, you need a different one. Buy these shoes for your office. Office shoes should be different. You can't wear the sports shoes in the office, So according to that advertisement, you end up buying so many shoes. Plus, you fancy the color, you fancy the shape. So you end up having 20, 30 pairs of shoes. And if you really check carefully, go inside, out of these 30, 40 pairs of shoes, how many you have worn and how many you have used, you will find many pairs of shoes you have never even touched. So why the hell you are keeping all these things? And you keep all these things thinking, one day I will need it. You grow I did this many times. So I'm telling my story, Tadida gosamare zampar you oh yang gosir dalan. Ya chida chik dan jurzi chik dan ya yar sha. Ya ranja pek lady re. Ro, tinu re doa. It's not easy, but as much as possible, do this kind of screening and try to give things away. Because there are many people who don't have even one pair of shoes. They need it, and you don't need it. And not only you don't need it, but it's unnecessary headache. If you are living in a place like Dharamsala, it's getting moldy very easily, So things like that. So adorn yourself with, give up all material objects and adorn by the wealth of the excelled. That is one. That dina manguchi donga to Tuesday donga de manguchi logme. Tene ma do shagin. Give up all commotion. That duzi singi share sama yukse horda. And live in isolation. Give up all commotion means that dance dogore, party dogore, chick dogore. There's so many things. Again, I'm not saying that you act like a Buddha. You're an ordinary person, so you can't be too serious all the time, especially if you're young. So a little bit of socializing is okay, right? But if you just keep on wasting your life going up, going down, for this, for that, then lumbuchuna katisi the chagore. Give up all commotions. And live in isolation. Live in isolation, the English word isolation, seclusion, there are so many different words. Solitude may be a better word, solitude, different word. Live in isolation means that you find time for yourself. And as I mentioned earlier also, one of the main modern diseases is people don't know how to live alone and also don't know how to live with others. This is a modern disease, but it has been predicted a long time back by Tibetan teachers. Kundan ro mishiba, chikpur de misukwa labgore, chikpur de misu, so chikpur de na hangsang do I think so. Many people ask me this question, Geshe Lhakdor, do you live alone? Yes, I live alone. Don't you feel lonely? For me, that was a shocking question, I never thought about it because I never suffered from loneliness. Unless you are with somebody, you feel lonely. And with that somebody, then also you don't know how to live properly, nicely, harmoniously. What to do? If you want friendship, then in your family you have so many. But with them you are not so nice. That's the problem. So this kind of this disease called loneliness is also not so much about whether you are surrounded by friends or not. It's primarily your mental attitude. Because the great Tibetan meditators who isolate themselves and remain in solitude and stay high in the mountain, they never suffer from loneliness. People who are suffering from loneliness are those who are living in big cities. There are many people suffering from loneliness, although they are living in a population of 20 million to 10 million, something like that. Then there are people who are suffering from loneliness. So it's just a mental sickness. Okay? And live in isolation. Now live in isolation, live in solitude is important because at the end of the day, what you want to find, what you need to find is yourself. What you need to find is yourself, not finding others. The whole purpose of Buddhist practice is to find yourself and then help others. As Gyuntu Chumbe said, Rangsim Nyombe Rango Masimbar, Chusi Namsan Yiji, Jashun Sam Tao the Shabe, Tuna Rimba, the Tenji Jamne Shabe, Yinkam Jimmy, already discussed this. Gyuntu Chumbe, great prolific writer, he said, this crazy mind, not being able to recognize itself, wasting time measuring the length and breadth of religion and politics. What is important is first you recognize yourself. Other people, his name is Tinji, his name is Doma. And there's no modern method to contact yourself. Mobile phone is to contact others. Email is to contact others. Phone tang marwa. You don't send an email to yourself unless for reminding purposes. So in the modern system, there's no method, technique to contact yourself. The only system, even in science, there's no method. So in Buddhism, it talks about meditation, which means going with yourself. Going with yourself. People suffering from depression, loneliness, and so forth, because inside they're hollow. I mean, imagine your house, which you live empty for a long, long time. Say 6 months, 7 months, nobody there, just leave it like that. You come back, the room starts smelling. You will see cobwebs. You will see dust. You will see some of the, paintings falling. So similarly, this house inside, because we don't nourish it by love, by compassion, there's nothing inside. You always go out thinking that happiness will come from outside. So inside there's nothing, that's why you are suffering. Dirida, I think it's very, very true. Because first you learn to be with yourself. Even if you spend short time sitting quiet, it gives you a tremendous amount of peace. So therefore try to do meditation a little bit every day, a little bit, 10 minutes meditation. If you don't know how to do meditation, just think a little bit about meaning of human life. How lucky you are. You are born as a human being, not as a dog. Things like that. You think like that. You will feel happy. So that kind of happiness that you develop by going within yourself, you won't get that happiness by watching a gripping movie or things like that. Rango Hina ne Tosi di Toro, Rango Hingama Rangi, Semdela Yomon Casedo, Doja Casedo, Yabuchido, Mendo, Tashuda did not work, did down to Yamaro, what did it? Discard words of gossip, that changes one, and always restrain your speech. The Norsha return stick, restrain your speech. When lamas and aborts are seen, with veneration cultivate respect. Persons with dharma eye and sentient beings of beginning stage develop the recognition similar to the Buddha. When seeing all sentient beings, develop the recognition similar to parents and children. Now in the case of lamas, the meaning of lama I already explained, or the abbats or teachers, when you see them, just feel happy, stand up, show respect. Or your parents or senior people, get up, show respect, develop respect. And you will be the one who will get the maximum benefit, not them. Just you are bowing down, they won't get anything. But because you have cultivated that sense of humility, that sense of, respect, you get the benefit. So these teachings are primarily aimed towards reducing this selfishness. If you are a very selfish person, then you will not undertake these practices. So you should be kind and disciplined. And all the good things that you have comes from your lama, comes from your abbot, comes from your teachers. So therefore you should respect them. So at the end of the day, your real friend is those who will show you the right path. Not who will just go with you up and down, squandering the money with you, not just that, but who really shows you the path. So those people are called the people with Dharma eye. And all sentient beings in the beginning stage, even if that sentient being or practitioner is not a Buddha, but who is a good practitioner, beginning stage means out of the five stages, if that person is, say, about to achieve the path of accumulation, solam, so develop the recognition similar to that. They are not Buddha, but they are, for you, in terms of benefit, they are like the Buddha. So therefore, in the teachings also, it clearly says that you should pay more respect to your teacher or your Lama than the Buddha, in some cases. Because Buddha may be very important, but you are unable to receive direct teaching from the Buddha. You receive teaching from the Lama, from the teacher. Lama de kyun yugen da chikho de chida kharma go mi kyuman ro che yina ya so so la kadi yebe chane de bishop che go re seji miller rebe nam tar jewa Lama me be kongro na sanje chebe mingya me tusu sanje thamje Lama dal de ne chung seji yore da di jeju. When seeing all sentient beings develop the recognition similar to parents and children, this is not easy, of course. But at least what he's saying is develop that little bit of feeling of closeness. Now today in the world, people, the population is so big, so therefore we don't pay much attention to other human beings when we see them. But in Tibet, it's very popular. Tibet is a vast land. That the geographical size of Tibet is bigger than the whole Western Europe. You walk miles, and then when you see one person, no need introduction, you feel so happy. Oh, meeting you do. Meeting you do. So there's an affinity. So other human beings also, like, you can talk to them in the same human language. And if you really show a little bit of interest, there's so much to learn from other people, from which country you come from, what is your culture, what is your religion, what are you doing here. So many interesting things you can learn also. So therefore feel happy and show respect. And always develop, as much as possible, develop this motivation that if I'm not able to help them, but at least I will make sure that I will not harm them, or I will not spoil their day. That is not easy. I'm not saying it is easy, but we should make an attempt. On many occasions you will be able to do that. And if you are able to do that, you will be the one who will shine out, who will get the benefit. The today my impression and Namdo Shiwich in Pagamic Dana in Al Chaja Tegdu Samaraji. Namdo Dalang, Kandum Kumadang, Selutolo, Pakistan Jugdo Selave. Namdo Dalang. When your negative conceptual runs wild, then whoever you see, you start thinking, oh, this person, the way he's looking at me, he's not friendly towards me. Oh, now he's saying something, maybe saying something nasty about me, You develop this unnecessary doubt. Penangi chance to let me the number Duja Jitting and Degla Josema Hondomala Chow. Near the Domajo de Nacharan Samala, Takung Duja, he will have to do someday. Jung says, so some loose. The point that I'm making is your mind is making the story. Even in the case if that person is saying something nasty to you, so long as you don't hear that, it's equal to having said nothing. Maguna Mevarwa. Just a Tanda Meval Kanju Maju, Nyoda said, Mandu say Jumsin, Nyoda said, the Damida, Co Damida Tong, any Tinyam to participate, Majina Mandi, any Yordana Chudo. Tilico Magona, just during a shade on a Magona, may have a chick, but so Rawa, the Cheverdua, the Cheverdua, Tendere, Cheza, or Duxere. So the point I'm making is, because sometimes when you see somebody Ningje that they George do the Luchimbo inside the Takasis Diona Samara Samedua. A Chungan Regina Ningje that on the Dikaraj Chigana. I did some good Kansas Yansi, the Pecha Mangolo, Pento do Sigmeda, Lol Herring Gudua, Motion and the machine and the Vajikaja in the Inda and Rockwa Magina Ningje Samara Gudua. Roa Ningje that the John Regichin, lamga nyigo samara samne susu hemba do labia do yungro te rang hingi yungro. So that will help others. That will help others. That count to do changing as much as possible, People are always looking for something. People are always in need, So whenever there is an opportunity to help them a little bit, provide that little help. It will transform the whole situation. And people start shaking. If you are Tibetan, if you start doing these things, people say, Tibetans are so good, so nice. I had many people, I met many people who said things like that. But I'm not saying all the Tibetans are good. There are many cheaters and nasty people are also there, unfortunately, like in any other society. But that's not good. So as His Holiness is constantly telling us, try to cultivate this good atmosphere. And that will bring trust, happiness, support. It's important. It's not just making slogans, Tibet is independent country, not just that. On day-to-day basis, we need to cultivate these positive qualities. So he says, when you see sentient beings, when you see senior people like the elderly women or elderly men, see them as your parents. Because in the true sense of the term, there's nobody who has not acted as your parents at one or the other point in life. And likewise, there's nobody who has not acted as your son, as your daughter, and so forth. So when you see younger people, you will see them as your brother, sister, things like that. Son, daughter, things like that. So in short, you should undertake this practice of meditation of the 4 immeasurable qualities. Meditation on loving kindness, meditation on compassion, meditation on joy, infinite joy, and meditation on equanimity. Seme shikom gore se gore da. Nyingje seme wa, chamba seme wa, gawa seme wa, tanyum seme wa, digom gore is. And then in case if you encounter somebody who is a fortunate being who wants to receive some teaching, and then show them, give them teaching, guide them. And even if they don't have much fortune, if you give them some teaching, at least this will leave a positive imprint in their mind. And then especially associated with these people, those people who are interested in listening to the Dharma, contemplating on the Dharma, meditating on the Dharma. So these are called people with the wisdom eye. So these are kind of superior human beings. So if you find such friends, then this is wonderful. Go with them. And make offering and respect to them as if you met the Buddha himself. So this is how you should respect others. And especially when you think about all these parent sentient beings, there's nobody who is not afflicted by suffering, afflicted by negative emotions. So therefore there is more reason to develop that loving kindness, compassion, and so forth. Now today the situation of the mother sentient beings is such that they are already plundered and carried away by the negative forces of negative emotions. So therefore you should develop this commitment to liberate them, to help them, and to look after them. Right? Then it says, give up negative friends and seek spiritual friends. Discard hatred and unhappy mind, and wherever you go, go in peace. I urge my Tibetan friends to gradually study this Tibetan text, and I hope I will be able to publish the whole commentary. It's not my commentary, it's there. It's amazing. Normally we don't read these texts, And each of these lines have like very lengthy commentary, which is basically in the conversational form between Atisha and Domtomba. I was so moved by reading this text, so I decided to talk on this. And slowly, I really wanted to publish that book, the Geshe Buddhism. Because if you do that, that is for you collecting the merit for sharing these teachings. It's a big responsibility of the monks. when you encounter some very, very special teachings which is really relevant for many people, find a way to disseminate it. Ta yakbu duksen susu nyar ma de che. Susu thong re de hinda thong yo marwa. Di kechimbu re che. Oh yeah. Give up negative friends. So negative friends will come not necessarily wearing a mask. Raba dikpe tokpo shejawa. Raba karse. Dikpe tokpo shejawa. Kus reda chomba shikda. Karse. Tadi ta tuklo nakbo shinang sawo jika. Ane sodo so rinpo jisu ten raba. Dikpe tokpo shedu shinang sawo jine. Dide yungumare es. The so-called negative friends will not come in a menacing form with bearing fangs, wearing black cloth, They will not come like that. They will come as a very good friend. They will show this very close feeling of friendship. Let us go for a party. Let us go for a nightclub. Don't worry about the money. I'll take care of the money. For drinking, for gambling, in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, he explains this very beautifully by saying that when you associate with somebody, if the three poisons, ignorance, attachment, and hatred, multiply, develop, and you are listening to the Dharma, thinking about the Dharma, meditation on the Dharma, decline, then this is a clear indication that you are in association with a negative friend. So distance yourself. You don't have to say, oh, you are a bad friend, not like that. But distance yourself from that person. And then gradually you become a person without love, without compassion. Give up negative friends. And seek spiritual friends. Give a hinye sidere, hinye, kalyan midre sidere, tokbo. Ta tokbo yawasan, kanshi, kanda tena, karse, kanda tena, ta jesasa, kanshi tena nyeba sejushin, kanshi tena nyeba sejushin, yonde yangun datar pejurwe, hinye tamba rangilu, jebadu. By relating to somebody, if your faults decline, and your positive qualities prosper, multiply, and then such a spiritual friend is your real friend. So to seek their friendship, seek dua. Discard hatred. We already discussed this. Anger is not good, and more importantly, hatred is the worst thing. Hatred is the same thing. Unhappy mind. I already give you the commitment. Whatever may come in your life, don't make your mind unhappy. When your mind is unhappy, unhappiness is the fruit of anger. Chunjung nala dua. Kungro san the simba machi wa chungni dilatene ane simba machi wa de kungro ki khalares. Simba machi den kungro sak dua. Simba pe ji wa de kungro sak dua lagwe mdu adi. Kungro hiu sak dua simba ji wa mdu lag dua. The simba ji wa me de kungro ki khalare. Unhappiness of mind is the fruit of anger. Anger is our enemy. So you need to starve the enemy. Starve the enemy. Don't give the food. So don't become unhappy. This is what I do. Unhappy mind. And if your mind is happy, everything looks beautiful. Nima chikpa chikchan shargi yore. Simba chibo yode. Nima de yakbu thongore. Tubo yore, yakbu yore. Sase yone, yon yomare. Simba de chibo mede. Nima pango ko. Saji duksere ya. Ero. Ya gungani kare nima de himi mixero. Tuchi ga mendo se. Mangpalay yoro ngazul. Ero. So when your mind is not happy, even you start complaining about the sun. Sun does not make any discrimination to anybody. But for you, when your mood is not good, you start thinking that the sun is especially bad for you. Otherwise, damn, this sun is so hot, Satan, leba kedochi do say give up negative friends and seek spiritual friends, discard head and unhappy mind. And wherever you go in peace. I like this one. I mean, this is the English translation, is my rough translation. My English is not good, but if somebody is able to translate this beautifully, it may be nice. But this turned out to be okay. And wherever you go in peace. Because if you see things from the right perspective, better perspective, you can always be happy. Even if you're a person who has lost leg, if your mental attitude is right, then you can still feel happy by saying, yes, I've lost my leg, but my hands are intact. It's a perspective. My hands are intact. If your perspective is not good, then you will not think about the hand that is intact, but you will always think about the missing legs. You are bringing unnecessary problem by just focusing on what is lacking, what is missing, what is not there. So you have the gawachi machine. We have both the eyes intact, both the hands intact, both the legs intact. Just this one is enough for you to be happy. How many people are there who have no sight, no legs, no hand? And then I told this before also. The Western nun came to me many years back saying, Geshe, can you teach me a little bit of meditation? I said, you want meditation? She said, yes, Geshe, a little bit of meditation. I said, if you want meditation, then today, this whole morning, you imagine you are not a human being, but imagine you are a dog. That's my meditation. That's my teaching on meditation. And it's me my imbaji chi, some the chi dodana hi, nimacheka ji juda. Any breakfast kawasagudo, lunch kawasagudo, tachen kawanyengudo. Because we take it for granted. I'm a human being, and this is a dog, Imagine you're a dog, especially a stray dog. Where will you have your breakfast? Where will you have your lunch? Where are you going to sleep if you're tired? Human beings have so many of these facilities, amenities, but still keep on complaining. I don't have this, I don't have that. Because our brain is too smart. So therefore, the purpose of this Buddhist teaching is to train this smart brain and take it in the right direction, not in the wrong direction. That's the purpose. If you train this mind in the right direction, then this human brain, human mind, and human life will become a repository of peace and happiness for many, many sentient beings, many, many people. But if you take it in the wrong direction, even one single individual can bring so much disaster, so much problem in the world. We have a long list of those people who did this. I have the list, if you want that list. I have that list. Criminal number 1 in the world is 2, 3, 4. I have that list. You see, like that. Mao Zedong, Idi Amin, Hitler, Stalin, those lists are there. How many they have killed, I have the numbers, everything. Right? This is because same human being, but because of negative mind. Oh, Duxre. So basically this is talking about whatever kind of lifestyle you have, make sure that your lifestyle is in harmony with the teaching, Dharma teaching, sublime Dharma teaching. Discard attachment in anything and live without attachment. Because due to attachment, even happy migration, happy human life is not attained. And moreover, it takes the life of liberation, the attachment. Chakpa attachment. Attachment is basically is a big obsession. When you have this strong attachment with strong obsession, you get stuck with that thing. I like this car. I have a lot of attachment to this car. I paid like 20 lakhs or 20 millions to this car, and you get attached to that. You get obsessed with it. You get stuck there. And if you get stuck there, how can you get freedom? In Buddhism, we are talking about freedom. Freedom is impossible if you get stuck with something. So don't get stuck, don't get obsessed with these things. If you do that, you will become immobile. You will lose your freedom. So that's why he's saying discard attachment in anything. That's not saying that don't use anything. Use them, yes, but don't develop that obsession. Don't develop that addiction. Why? Because if you have that attachment, then as a result, you will not even obtain the life of human being in the future. And not only that, it will cut the life of nirvana, meaning nirvana is impossible then. Complete freedom. Nirvana means a state of complete freedom, and complete freedom is not possible due to attachment. And we don't have to go far here. I mean, look at today, modern world. Everybody is busy and everybody is running, right? Everybody is running. With the speed of technology, we are running. Even the speed of aeroplane is not enough. Everybody is running. Running for what? Why you are so busy? To be busy is not important. Important is what are you busy about? We are so busy. We can't eat our food slowly. We can't talk with somebody slowly. Okay, I'll see you later. I'm a little bit busy. Okay. I'm also a little bit busy, but people ask me this question, Geshe, it looks like you are very busy. Do you have time? Then I, as a kind of rebuff, I tell them, the only thing I have is time. The only thing I have is time. So what I'm saying is, yes, there will be occasions when you need to be busy, but what I'm saying is, we are unnecessarily busy. So to be busy is not important. What is important is, what are you busy about? So don't make it as a fashion, Just running is a fashion, Pretending that you are somebody important, running around, that's not important, So my point is, because you are so busy because of attachment. You want to get this, get that, get this thing done, that thing done. Then you have this funny English word, deadline. Meeting the deadline. And when people come to me, Geshe, I need to do this, can you do this within this deadline? I say, go, please go. Because before I am able to meet your deadline, I will be dead, so please go. So there are certain things, I'm not trying to be cynical, Sometimes it may be important, but generally I don't like that, you see. You do those things which you like. If you like, then you will try to finish it soon. If you don't like, even if there is a temptation of offering like $10,000 or whatever, and are you going to kill yourself for $10,000? That's not really good. And you will not be able to do a proper job when you don't have this, genuine interest and liking, So when you do this work, there will be pushing and pulling, Shall I do it? I should do it because there's $1 forthcoming. I should not do it because I'm not interested. So there's this pushing and pulling, You're not into that work, right? Normally when there is time, then here detailed explanation about the 12 links of dependent origination is explained. Oh yeah, tadine man roshos. In short, what is being saying is there's no point to develop attachment because that object to which you are developing so much attachment, obsession, if you look carefully with that object has no intrinsic value because that object doesn't exist independently. It's like the beautiful image that you see in the television. If you see a beautiful, object in the television, will you develop obsessive attachment to that form in the television? Will you? You may say, oh, it's really nice, but you will not, develop that obsession because it's just a reflection. Television and the ko ning jo du sang de ta ti ko ning bo me wa da khorang ngone de me ha ko de chak pa cheng mo do as tin na shi like just like that image that comes out in the television. The people, the object that we see is exactly like that. If you search a little bit, there is no essence. How can you prove that? You can prove that today through scientific instrument. Like this body, which looks okay, solid, sitting here, hand also looks okay, right? Especially if you have washed it and put some powder or something like that, looks white or something, looks nice. But then pick up a powerful microscope and see it. It's not any more smooth. It's mountains and valleys. Tine yomar hina yor hyaje desam dinde jam dokho indokho de yomar da rid the thang. Any exam go you dingi. And the more powerful instrument that you use, the more you will see the whole body just bubbling energy. Hina mude sung the uba deva da sorwa chu churshi se jiwa chu just like a drop, just like a bubble on the water. That's not to frighten you. And you should not get frightened because it is the way it is. We feel a little bit uneasy because we are habituated with this wrong conception that there is a Dharma existing from its own side, Takpa, Juringbo, de Michiken, then some logic the hopes in the Hinakin the Hore. But that is the bitter truth. That's the bitter truth you have to accept. And the benefit of accepting that is now if your body is really like a bubble, like a blister, so fragile, you need to take more care of that body. Makes perfect sense. If your lungs and the pumping of the blood and then the flow of the energy and everything, if it is so fragile, accordingly you need to realize that and take care. And even physically we don't realize this. And that's why we think, okay, if the food looks tasty, just put everything in your mouth. Garmo jurmo karina khana look your digdur someday di machine. Ko naloge machine ki tuko sathuye the jutuye mena lu the higrwa nagrwa. You will get a sense of that. Once I was visiting Malaysia, I'll stop now. Visiting Malaysia and went for a lunch or something in a restaurant. So there is an illustration on the wall, the length of the intestine, colon or something, of human beings and animals, clearly showing that human beings are not meat eaters. The knowledge, the human, the dozo chagdan chena hyasage remedo angazo. Tangazo leba the changda ani himo dukse na sangwa sahyarwa. It's not necessarily good for health. Therefore, no dukse. Oh, Zugni Uba Debada, Sorwa Chui Chuburishin, Dushi Miguta, Dujenam, Chushi, Namshi, Juman Rashi, Sung, Selabduata di. That Duzulu, Duzuning de Hija, that Duzuhidam, Duxia. Oh, so what this chapter is saying is get out from the quagmire of attachment. Don't get stuck in the quagmire of attachment. That is what this text is saying. Right? Okay? Thank you. See you tomorrow. If you have one or two burning questions, I can address. Namhi ostua. Since there is no question, the meeting is dissolved.